In the headlines, Governor Wike says G5 has not reached a deal with anyone, as Tambol says PDP will handle him when his candidate is unveiled. Security operatives rescue 13 abducted victims in Niger. President Buhari to sign 2023 budget on first working day of 2023. And on the foreign scene, former Pope Benedict XVI dies at 95. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. We begin with politics, where Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State says he and his allies, better known as the G5, have not struck any deal with any presidential candidate ahead of next year's election. The G5, which includes Wike and Governors Seyi Makinde of Oyo, Samuel Ortom of Benue, Ifeanyi Ugwanyi of Enugu, and Okezie Ikpeazu of Abia, have been at loggerheads with the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar in the wake of the party's presidential primary. Wike, who lost to Atiku, believes the process was unfair, and the five governors maintain that the PDP national chairman Iyorchia Ayu, a northerner, must resign. Since the crisis, there has been speculations that the group has backed a candidate for the presidential election. But the former Minister of State for Education has waved off the reports, describing them as untrue. He also accused Atiku of holding secret meetings with governors of the ruling All Progressives Congress and failing to keep to his promise of not having the PDP presidential candidate and the party's chairman from the same region.
Does that we had meeting with so and so? What is their problem assuming that there was a meeting? Has Atiku not been holding meeting with governors of APC? Ask him. Ask is in Dubai. Don't you know what's going on? So why do you bother about us? G5 that you say you can win without us. Leave us alone. Leave me alone. Leave Seyi Makinde alone. Leave Ortom alone. Leave Ikpeazu alone. Leave Ugwanyi alone. Focus on your problems. I'm not one who will go and see somebody and I will hide. Hide for who? Who is that person that will threaten me? He said he will sack me. Go ahead. I'm not worried. You that is sacking, you are worried. Me that will be sacked, am I worried? Try and see how you will survive it.
And amid speculation over Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike's preferred presidential candidate in the 2023 elections, his Sokoto State counterpart, Governor Aminu Tambol, says the party has lawful avenues of dealing with erring members. Since his emergence as the PDP presidential candidate earlier this year, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has faced apathy from 5 PDP governors under the aegis of the G5, or Integrity Group, who are insisting that the PDP national chairman, Iyorchia Ayu, a northerner, must resign. However, Tambol sent a word of warning to the Rivers State governor and others allegedly planning to go against the interests of the PDP. According to a statement by Tambol's media advisor, Muhammad Bello, the People's Democratic Party will respond to the antics of the G5 governors who are currently being speculated to be in a political alliance with the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And still talking politics, presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, Rabiu Kwankwaso, has accused the ruling All Progressives Congress and the People's Democratic Party of complicity in the security challenges bedeviling the country. Kwankwaso said education and youth employment will be his top priority if elected as president in 2023. He said this in Zamfara State, where he inaugurated the party's campaign offices in the state. The report.
The presidential candidate of New Nigerian People's Party, NNPP, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, said if elected as president of Nigeria in the 2023, he will mop up huge number of out-of-school children by providing education infrastructure, recruitment, and training of teachers to boost the standards of quality of education in the country. The former Kano State Governor also said that his administration will replicate what he did as governor, providing scholarship and sponsoring children of the poor to study abroad, and some in private and federal universities in Nigeria.
We are very much concerned about education in this country, especially in northern Nigeria. And education, even in Kano, as you rightly pointed out, is the number one priority when we are in government 8 years in Kano. And in fact, even in my own private life, I consider education as number one priority. Whatever project that I do, number one is education. So that's why in Kano we are able to do free and good quality education from primary, secondary to tertiary level.
The NNPP presidential candidate said Nigeria should not return the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and ruling All Progressive Congress (APC) to power, as its NNPP is poised to bring about much desired change which Nigerians and Nigeria need at this point in time.
So we are very happy, and of course we always move on the ground because we are grassroots people who always want to associate with the masses, people who are our supporters. And also we look around to see the environment, to see the roads, to see the type of houses that our people live. And there are schools, primary schools that are on the road, secondary schools and other institutions. And of course talk to the people and find out the situation. So we are making a lot of assessments to ensure that we know the problems and challenges that are on the ground, so that day one, by the grace of God, if we get elected, we don't have to ask too many questions.
While in Zamfara, Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso visited strategic towns to seek support of electorate to win the 2023 election.
Residents of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, said the judiciary has fallen short of expectations in the last 12 months. In a critical assessment, the residents say that the justice sector must be rejigged to gain the confidence of the citizens. The report.
It is often said that judiciary is the last hope of the common man. Though the judiciary has recorded some tremendous improvements in the last 12 months, some residents of the FCT said that some corrupt practices in the judicial system have continued to plague the society.
Everybody is equal before the law. What you should do to A, you should also do it to B. There shouldn't be biasness when it comes to passing judgments. The law is for everybody.
I know there's supposed to be judiciary, but if it is not influenced, of course they can work because everybody is tired. What I see is that everybody tries to save their head when it comes to working in Nigerian civil service. You understand? Some of them even pay their way to get to any point. I have a friend, like a brother, who was a chief judge. And when I approached him personally that, why did you have to do certain things? And he explained to me his position. And he told me that most of the work they are doing, that they have to work to do the work the way they want them. The people in power, the people in the political arena wants them to do the work. So they are the ones who expose them to all this working wrongly and all those things. And when the problem comes, they don't even help them.
We cannot say that somebody, that judiciary has not done very well. They have done very well, but that may not be good enough. So as far as I'm concerned, I would have wanted a judiciary that is we can trust, that I can trust.
For Paul Iwo, judgments are no longer based on legal merits or evidence, but often a case of the most influential or connected getting his way.
I'm able to have friends that I had court case, and some of them did not come out successfully, despite they are in the right side of the case. Like in advanced countries, it's not like that. Once you have a genuine case, there are activists that will follow up this case for you until justice is guaranteed. But in our own case like that, it's not like that. I don't know. We are looking forward at this new year, we can establish policies that could help the common man.
The residents urged the government and relevant stakeholders to take a leaf from other nations who have advanced with the judicial system to deliver justice within shortest period. Martia Umar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now to matters of security, where 13 abductees have been rescued by the joint security operatives in Gurara and Paikoro local government areas of Niger State. The State Commissioner for Internal Security and Humanitarian Affairs, Emmanuel Umar, said in Minna that among the rescued victims were 9 women and 3 men. Umar said they were rescued on Friday following a tip-off that some bandits were sighted around Bonu, Gwalu and Chimbi areas of Gurara and Paikoro local governments. He said the victims were taken to a government medical facility for medical checks before they were reunited with their families. The Commissioner appreciated the efforts of security agencies and communities for their support and cooperation, urging them not to relent until they get rid of criminals in the state. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Service in Adamawa State have vowed to flush out criminals hiding in forest reserves across the country. The Commandant, Directorate of Hunting and Forestry of the Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Service, Aisha Bakari Gombi, stated this during an exclusive interview with Trust TV in Yola. She said they are ready to go into the forests to flush out criminals ahead of the new year. Silas Lawan reports.
The Commandant, Directorate of Hunting and Forestry of the Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Service, Aisha Bakari Gombi, further reiterated commitment of the local security toward providing intelligence to support all ongoing effort of security agencies to rid the state of banditry.
We are not in competition with other agencies, but we are out to complement their jobs, and I believe this is the time for all hands to be on deck. We cannot leave it all to the government. As a voluntary security outfit whose primary place of assignment is in the forest, we have come to lend a helping hand.
Nigeria knows about the performance of this organization in terms of security or insecurity in the country. This organization, they have performed very well during Boko Haram and others. That is why the legislative finds very good to form this type of organization. When the bill was presented to the legislature, in fact, that we don't have any problem because they know our function in terms of security.
Stakeholders expressed optimism that effort of the conventional security agents could be complemented by the Forest and Hunters Security Service to enhance the security architecture in the country. The Directorate urged the National Assembly to expedite the process of concurrence on the Nigerian Hunters and Forest Security Service Establishment Bill, which had been passed into law by the Senate.
With her and the hunters that we have in our dear state and our neighboring state like Taraba, Gombe, Borno, Yobe, especially the northeastern state of Nigeria, so that we can join hands together to fight the terrorists that they are living in our bushes, mountains, and so far those that are within our communities. I hope and I pray that God will give us a strength and opportunity to cooperate and fight the corrupt people that are among us.
Slow development. As you are aware, it was before the National Assembly. It went through first reading, second reading, third reading, and now it is before His Excellency the President for assent. So if it is assented to, we are now full-fledged.
The commandant said the Hunters and Forest Security Service is ready toward protecting and safeguarding the forest against bandits, killer herdsmen, and other criminal gangs. From Yola, Salis Lawan, Trust TV News.
Still with us on Trust TV News Update. Still ahead. We'll show you how deals are struck at Nasarawa Livestock Market. Details of this and more after the break. Stay with us.
Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130...
Created a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secure are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Or really, if you look at English squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now let's recap our top stories. Governor Wike says G5 has not reached a deal with anyone, as Tambol says PDP will handle him when his candidate is revealed. And security operatives rescue 13 abducted victims in Niger. And in other news, President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to sign the 2023 budget into law on the first working day of 2023. Senate President Ahmad Lawan disclosed this on Friday to newsmen at State House Abuja after meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari on the last working day of 2022. He explained that the delay by the National Assembly in passing the budget was due to some unfortunate occurrences, but expressed happiness with the working relationship between the executive and legislative arms of government. Kehinde Amodu reports.
It's the last working day of the year, and the Senate President has come to see President Buhari to walk through some issues that have remained unresolved as the year runs out. One crucial pending issue is, of course, the 2023 Appropriation Bill, which has been passed by both arms of the National Assembly. The goal is to persuade the President to keep faith with the January to December budget cycle, which has been in operation in the last 4 years.
We are very pleased that we have been able to, in the last 4 years, ensure the passage of the appropriation bills in record time before every Christmas, and Mr. President had always signed before the end of the year. This year particularly is because of the anomalous, very undesirable and unfortunate situation that we had to delay a little bit. You recall that the National Assembly had to cut down its recess, Christmas recess, to come back on Wednesday for the sole purpose of passing the appropriation bill that we could have passed a week before.
The Senate President is passionate about the January to December budget cycle, which he says has resulted in stabilizing the economy.
Impact on the polity. On the economy, when the federal government passes and assents to the appropriation bill and the states do the same, the economy starts to receive injection of funds right from January of the following year. So we, without sounding immodest, in the 9th Assembly and working very harmoniously in a very cordial manner with the executive arm of government, have been able to make this economy a little bit better. It would have been worse if the budgets were passed May, June of every year or the following year, and so on and so forth.
He is delighted in the cordial working relationship between the executive and legislative arms of government, insisting that the country would have been worse off if both arms of government were working at cross purposes.
I think that relationship has produced very positive results, very good outcomes for this country. Imagine that the relationship is broken, that we simply are fighting on territorial grounds and so on and so forth. The country would have been worse for it, the citizens would have lost, and we have no regrets whatsoever for working together to ensure that we support the executive arm of government in ensuring good governance, providing infrastructure across the country. And there's no part of this country today that does not have one project, one infrastructure development or the other.
As the year runs to an end, it is time for all political office holders to take stock and gauge what kind of impact they have had on the lives of Nigerians, particularly as elections are closing in fast. From State House, Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
The Nasarawa cattle market is rated among the top 10 livestock markets in northern Nigeria. According to research, the market, one of the largest, has been in existence for decades, providing the best breeds of animals. Abubakar Abdullahi visited the market, and his report is presented from our studio.
For years, the Lafia cattle market was a source of livelihood for many within and outside the Nasarawa state. The market, which is periodic, operates twice a week, Thursdays and Sundays, with customers from different parts of Nigeria and even neighboring countries. During Trust TV visit to the market, thousands of locals and Fulani herders were seen carrying out business operations. Fatai Suleiman said he visits the cattle markets every week from Benue to buy animals. A cattle dealer, Abubakar Alaji Saeed, said the market is one of the best points to sell their animals as people from all over the country come to buy animals here, adding that both buyers and sellers benefit from the market.
We bring cows here to sell. We make money and feed our families. We give thanks to Allah for this.
On his part, chairman of the market, Ahmed Saleh, said the market attracts people from different regions.
It is a legitimate business. Everybody, Muslim, Christians, different ethnic religions, come to this market from all over the country. People from other states are the backbone of this market.
He said although traders of other merchandise do business in the market, it is mainly for animals. He then called on the state government to construct a fence around the market to protect both sellers and buyers against intruders and other criminal activities, going by the huge turnover the market generates weekly.
That report was by Abubakar Abdullahi from Lafia. Now, a former commissioner in Old Benue Plateau State, Shehu Uthman, said he left a lucrative job at the Central Bank of Nigeria to join the Northern Civil Service because there was no time to rest. Uthman featured in Trust TV's program Reminiscence, where he narrated how he was appointed health commissioner, even though he was not a medical doctor.
When I went to the Central Bank again, it was when I was in Kano. People are talking about the Central Bank. I don't know what is Central Bank, but from what people have been saying, is the father or the mother of all the banks. What if it is mother of all the bank? Which means if I'm there now, are more important.
Yes.
Instead of just a bank, only one bank.
Yes.
You can watch the full interview this Saturday by 7 p.m. on Trust TV. Now for a look at the foreign scene, where former Pope Benedict XVI has died at his Vatican residence, aged 95, almost a decade after he stood down because of ailing health. He led the Catholic Church for less than 8 years, until in 2013 he became the first pope to resign since Gregory XII in 1415. Benedict spent his final years at the Mater Ecclesiae monastery within the walls of the Vatican. His successor, Pope Francis, said he had visited him there frequently. Although the former pontiff had been ill for some time, the Holy See said there had been an aggravation in his condition because of advancing age. Born Joseph Ratzinger in Germany, Benedict was 78 when in 2005 he became one of the oldest popes ever to be elected. And in sports, Cristiano Ronaldo has given reasons he opted to leave Europe and sign for Al Nassr. The deal that saw the 37-year-old join the Saudi Arabian club was announced on Friday. Ronaldo will receive $175 million annually for the duration of his 2-year contract. He said, in quote, "I am fortunate that I have won everything I set out to win in European football and feel now that is the right moment to share my experience in Asia. I'm looking forward to joining my new teammates and together with them help the club to achieve success." End of quote. The 5-time Ballon d'Or winner was believed to be keen on continuing his career at the top level in Europe. Ronaldo especially keen to join a Champions League side after his contract at Manchester United was terminated in November. And that brings us to the end of Trust TV News Update for this hour. Don't forget, for more news, you can subscribe to watch us live on YouTube and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.